Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Leo. If Leo is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. All right, let's take a look here. We have a nice, look at that bird. We have a nice bird formation here. Looks kind of like a little fat bluebird, or maybe a robin. Although a robin is kind of more, they're a little larger. They're not as rotund. So we have a beautiful little bluebird. I can imagine it getting ready to sing its little song in the morning. It seems to me, just seeing this symbol, that there is this kind of innocent, fresh, new, emerging flutterings of love and excitement, a lightness to your hours, kind of just feeling like you're in a good place. You're waking up, you feel energetic, happy to meet the day, and there's just kind of an ease to how things are going in your immediate life. Okay, so before we continue on, I want to look at the card so I don't forget about it. This is the art / temperance card from the Thoth deck. Okay, and so we have this being that is kind of the product of the chemical marriage, and it is alchemizing these elements, working towards that philosopher's stone, I imagine. And so we have this real focus towards precision of the elements, of the variables, of one's maybe external life, but most importantly, the internal affairs and alignments and so on. So it feels like you are really in a place where you are focused on keeping your mental space, your spiritual space, working towards your highest potential. Okay, whatever your spiritual goal might be, you are focused on that. Now, I do think that this kind of points towards maybe some external disturbances happening, because you're going to be going through this period of possibly the necessity to kind of buckle down, be tempered, go through the tempering process, which, as you know, is kind of going under fire to then become stronger. So this is, definitely relates to the ordeals of life. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, in we're seeing the bird. We're talking about this, you know, kind of fresh morning energy. The sun has come up. There's still dew on the grass. The birds are, you know, singing and about their business. And I feel that you really are in that kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, kind of ready to get at it energy. But it seems maybe a tick or two away from your central life, your central affairs. Something is happening. There is some kind of, let me see, I'm gonna, and so I'm getting this feeling because I'm seeing this, it looks a little bit like a person, a little bit like almost a cactus or a tree. Okay, and there are some different branches coming off of it, and kind of just reaching up into this J we have here. And we'll talk about the J's because there are a couple of J's in this bowl, or at least 3 that I can see. And I feel that this must have to do with a family event, a family affair. Something is happening within the family, okay? I think that there must be some amount of stress. I feel that there are different, and this makes it sound a little serious, but different factions within the family, maybe of differing opinion, not agreeing on how to go about a collective plan or, you know, problem. It just seems like people are a little bit at odds, okay? And it seems to me that I'm looking at this one with the dot, this one with the dot. There is you're coming into this situation out of your own kind of more central life where, you know, you're feeling good, you're feeling pretty peaceful, you're going about your days and, you know, doing the things that you need to do. There's not really any large trouble, just the normal stuff, and you're feeling good about that. But there's this thing happening. You're coming into it with this kind of clear mind. These illumined, they look like candles with the little flames. You have a very kind of illumined positioning in spirit and in mind, emotionally. And I feel that you just really are not too interested in getting very involved in this. I think that you are being careful about choosing your position and maybe not even having any kind of alliance here. I know that you are definitely aware that, you know, this will have lasting effects for you and everybody involved. So it seems like no matter what you do or choose or whom you choose to agree with, it's gonna end up biting you after everything is said and done. Okay, so I feel like you're really working on trying to figure out how can I kind of remain outside of this, being helpful but not having an opinion. Okay, and I think, you know your family, you know the people that are involved and what's going on. So I think it's important that you just kind of figure out how to be useful, how to show up for whatever this issue is, and not really, not really. I mean, personally, I would think just not talking too much about it with everybody else. Where you can miss those conversations, I would suggest, only doing it in a setting where everybody's kind of together. I also see this vacuum here. So it makes me, I wonder if, I feel like it's just you kind of are the person in your family that often has to kind of clean up after everybody else is done kind of, having their arguments and going after one another and, maybe even gossiping, talking, bad-mouthing each other. These frustrating interactions. And you are the person that kind of just has to go in there and clean things up, kind of mediate a little bit. And I wonder if, maybe you're just kind of getting tired of doing that, honestly. It kind of just really affects you more deeply than you would like. So, I think it's just, keeping your head down and trying to figure out, what do you do where you can kind of remain Switzerland in this situation. Okay. Now I want to look at the J's. We have one J. There's a J here. There was another one I saw right here. And so I think that J must be an important person, a name. Okay, it could be somebody, like a descriptive word. It could be maybe the career that they're in. But I think that this must be somebody who's kind of all over in this situation, possibly in your emotional space, psychic space. It just see it kind of everywhere. Now let's see. I want to look at this one. And this one's kind of interesting. It looks like a person kind of playing a pipe, a flute, a pipe, some kind of musical instrument, and kind of surrounded by these birds, and then we have an exclamation mark. Okay, so I kind of just, and I know this is kind of it's a mixed metaphor, but this idea of, kind of going to your own, it's usually to the beat of your own drum. But I think that often you are just the type of person that kind of vibes out on your own thing. You just do what you like. You like to, keep your life small in some ways and large in your interests and your hobbies and your leisure activities. But I think as you've gotten older, you definitely are a lot more selective about the people that you are around. You might not have a lot of close friends. I think that you often are just kind of fine doing things on your own or maybe with one other person. And really just kind of, making your own entertainment, your own fun. And so I kind of see that this might be a little bit of your saving grace during this period of kind of family-related stressors. just kind of, setting some boundaries, keeping your head in those places where you're feeling good. Of course, we want to honor our families and be there for them. And, assist in whatever is happening. As we get older, there are more things that kind of arise. More health issues, housing issues possibly, taking care of our older generation, people moving, having kids, so on, all kinds of stuff. And we want to show up for those things. We want to be a part of the collective. But we also need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. And I think that you're pretty good at deciding against, the thing that is going to kind of disrupt you too deeply. So where some might see that as a little bit selfish, I think that it's actually not a big problem because you are living your life how you want to, okay? Sometimes we do need to be a little bit selfish. We need to be, a bit choosy. We have to sometimes make those hard decisions and, make ourselves inaccessible to people. It doesn't matter who that person is, there are some parts of ourselves, some parts of our life that should be just for us, or, should be to create harmony, contentment, ease the pains of living, right? We all have some amount of trouble with living. Our life is not, life is not easy. All of our responsibilities, our time constraints, how much it just costs to be alive. And, the world we live in can be, it could be a heavy weight to bear under the best circumstances. So, I think that it's good that you have the ability to decide for yourself in such a way that you honor your family, but you also honor your own needs. That is definitely a priority. Okay, so I also see a bird that is in movement. I wonder if you will be taking a little trip pretty soon. I also see this kind of mangle from the way I'm looking at it. It's hard to get it on the camera the same way, but let's see if I can. Maybe not, but it kind of looks like a little bike, a little bit of a mangled bicycle. But I kind of feel like you're going to be doing something fun, leisurely, maybe going on a little, weekend trip, go away for a few days, go to the beach or, up to the mountains or, somewhere where you can kind of get outdoors a bit and breathe some fresh air, move your body, and just kind of enjoy yourself. Let go of some of the stress and anxieties that you have going on, but also really kind of staying active in that fresh little songbird kind of vibe you have going on. And I kind of just see like a fun little trip that won't be too much effort, and coming back really feeling rested and that you have had some good enjoyment. I also just see, and I want to look at this this large circle. We have this circle here, the little one, And then we have this large circle. And it just feels to me that we are going through, and this is kind of why I'm thinking, is this situation with your family having to do with maybe a grandparent, a parent, somebody who is maybe aging? Because there's this feeling of going full circle. Maybe somebody who took care of you, you will be taking care of them soon. That these arrangements are starting to be made. We're starting to kind of face some realities. You know, something like this. So I really feel like there's also in your mind this kind of, this idea of everything coming full circle in some ways, right? And, you know, I think that's something that we all kind of think about as our elders become elderly, or, you know, especially if it's somebody who is like a parent, or whoever was kind of in that parental role for you. Okay, and as they aged and then they need your help, you know, it can really make you think about life and the passage of time, and, you know, how all of that can go. Okay, now I'm going to take a look at this one. So, I'm kind of seeing, there are two main kind of doorways, pathways. I almost kind of think these are like two ideas of your passage to freedom, right? But you only have one key, okay? And only one is really going to work for you. And I think that you've kind of married yourself to a path already. But in your mind, you have kind of this, maybe kind of romanticized idea that you might go down this other path. You know, it's accessible to you. But this is something that lives in your mind. This is something that you want to keep alive because it helps you live. And that's not to say that the path that you're on is terrible or too difficult or unfulfilling, but I think that there's just enough room in there that you kind of need this other thing to kind of flow through and fill in the gaps, if that makes sense. And, you know, I don't think that that's abnormal. I think that that is something that a lot of people do. The only thing, and this has to do with this kind of temperance, but in my mind, more tempering self, is that you don't let this lead you into obsession, compulsion, addiction, these kinds of things. It's okay to have fantasies. It's okay to have these interior spaces, daydreams, you know, places in the heart and mind where you can escape. But you have to be careful because, you know, what is before you is what you've chosen. And so much of life is learning to kind of accept the realities, or to embrace the, you know, the magic within the mundane. You can't find the magic within the mundane if you're stuck in this fantasy world all the time. You're not trusting what you've chosen. You're not trusting what is there for you, what is quote unquote real. And I think if you really apply yourself to standing before that thing, whatever it is, you will find the magic and the beauty and, you know, the stuff of it that drew you in the first place. Okay, there's so much more to discover. There's so much more unraveling and revealing and, you know, sparks of divinity. And so I think this is a good time to really kind of be there with your feet on the ground, you know. Okay, so I think that's our reading tonight, Leo. I want to thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate you and always so honored to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to go ahead and like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. It's helping us grow this channel one person at a time, and I appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It will notify you when the next videos are coming out, and then you know. There should be about 2 videos every day. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes, you know, sometimes they get spread out a little bit. But every week we have all the signs read at least once. And if you want to leave a comment, let me know how you're doing. Let me know what's going on with you. I'd love to hear from you. All of your messages and comments and things like that really mean a lot to me, and I really do enjoy reading them. So thank you. We will talk again in about 7 days. Thank you, Leo.